Hi guys, it's Jody. Today's video I am going to walk you through how I do my embellishments on my blowouts and my blooms. I had someone, a friend and a subscriber ask me, John Waltz, this video is for you. He asked me how I go about doing embellishing my blooms once they're blown out. So I kind of wanted to walk through that process. Sometimes it's just, oh, I don't like this area, and other times it is a bit more calculated. So if I can shed some light and some tips on it, that's what I'm here to do today. So let's go get started. All right, so I'm going to talk about the colors that I'm going to be using first. And as always, at the beginning of all my videos, I list the colors, the products, everything that I'm using, the pouring mediums, whether I'm using one or more than one. And usually throughout the video, as I'm doing the colors, I will specify the name of the color and then what pouring medium it's mixed with, if I'm using more than one. If I'm only using one, I'm not going to list that part. But so I recently posted this little test piece, and it was literally, I was trying to come up with colors. I was doing a commission piece and I was getting frustrated with my colors, and it got a lot of attention. I don't normally use green, and I kept looking at it like, wow, this is really neat. And so now we're going to try and recreate at least the colors. I know I'm not going to recreate the piece itself because that does not happen in acrylic pouring. But I've got all the colors, and some of them I actually mixed colors together in haste, so bear with me. And I'll bring you down as I'm doing this, but I'm going to be working on a smaller 6x6 piece here. I'm going to do it on the bench, and then we'll bring it over to the spinner. The pillow that I'm going to be using today, I'm actually switched back to my Glidden premium eggshell, only because the Pittsburgh Ultra that I use and love, sometimes when you get to the end of a can, it gets a little bit more bubbly, and I try to put it into a smaller container, but sometimes that just doesn't help the bubbles as they come about. So I finished that can and went over, I brought out a new can, and I'm letting it rest for a little bit so the bubbles can escape. So I went back to the Glidden, and that's usually what I do, is if I find towards the end of the can, one of my pillow paints are a bit more bubbly for what I like, I'll switch over to the other one, which is why I have two that I like. I can just go back and forth and they react pretty much the same. However, I've noticed this Glidden eggshell is a little bit more thinner, and I don't know if it's just been sitting around, but at any rate, excuse me, environment plays a role. It's colder here in the Chicago area, so my Pittsburgh Ultra was getting a bit thick, and now I have no idea why the Glidden premium eggshell is a bit thinner, but I'm just rolling with it. So I'm going to be using that pillow today, but the colors I'm going to be using, and I'm hoping I got the layering right, is this little piggy pigment in Twilight. It's called Twilight, and I mixed that up with my Behr Glidden pouring medium, and then I kind of have a dark blue color, and I did mix these two. It was Amsterdam greenish blue, and then Amsterdam Prussian blue, and I think I put equal amounts in, but I may have put a little bit more of the greenish blue and just a little squirt of the Prussian blue, but I mixed that together. That was mixed with my Glidden Min Wax pouring medium, and then this green has a whole lot of colors in it. I had originally started out with, this little piggy pigment. I don't have the container because I was sent a sample and I'm still using it up, but I was using the seaweed, and then I was also in a separate container, and then I was using the Celadon, this Jo Sonia Celadon, in a different container, and they were mixed with different pouring mediums. And I decided to combine them together because I wanted to see what it would make. And I didn't like it, so I added some of this golden, the green gold, and I came up with this color, and it actually turned out really nice, so we're gonna go with it. And then the cell activators I used were, this is, I believe this is Amsterdam, Deep Gold, mixed 4-to-1. And then this is Amsterdam Turquoise Green. I have them here, I'll show you. So the Deep Gold is this one. And again, I'll put these at the beginning with pictures, so you can screenshot it if you want to try to use these colors. And then Turquoise Green. All right, so now I'm going to bring you down as I put all this stuff on the canvas. All right, I forgot. I forgot I had one more color in there. The Jo Sonja Titanium White. I actually mixed this with the Glidden Min-Wax pouring medium, so I have a little bit of that in there as well. All right, put my pillow down. That's good enough. And they're really, I don't have a ratio of canvas to pillow paint. I just kind of eyeball it and kind of make a circle in the middle with just a little bit along the edges, because as you put your colors on, it's going to push, the colors are going to push the pillow out a little more. And I don't want it to go over the edge, and that way I can add more pillow paint once I'm done and I'm getting ready to either tilt it or spin it. So, all right, this first color is the Amsterdam greenish, bluish green, greenish blue, and then the Prussian blue mixed together. Here, let me show you the consistency. You can see that. A little bit more. I hope I get the layering of the colors right. It was literally just trying different color combinations. Here I don't have a lot of this pigment left, so we'll just use what we have. This is this little piggy, the Twilight. Okay. And then the mixed bag of green. I'll put on the screen again what everything I mixed together in here, in case you want to try to recreate it. And then the titanium white, I just put a little bit. That's good. All right, now I'm going to move angles so you can watch me blow this out. I hope that's good. Should be good. If I get little air bubbles in there, I'll pop them before. All right, let's see. I think I used this bronze first. I'm sorry, is it bronze? Nope, it's deep gold. I like to think it's bronze. I think I have in my mind bronze because I want to try bronze. And then the greenish blue. And I've been trying different ways to blow things out, so if it looks different than what I normally do, that's why. Sometimes I'll blow out, as you saw me just do, if there's a lot, like a harsh line, I'll try to get a little bit more, and I see that it's cell activated, I'll try to get maybe a little bit more action there. Sometimes it doesn't work, and then that's where I embellish. Or I come in with a straw to see if I can get something out of it. And sometimes it's for not, especially if it's towards the edge, it's probably gonna, excuse me, it's probably gonna roll over the edge anyways. All right. Let's see, I don't know if the angle is gonna be easier doing this way or going above. Back above, let's see. That's better. Whoa, my camera's moving. Sorry about that. All right. Okay, so what do I do here? So right away I'm seeing this white spot here. If you can see, right in there. And I want to do something with that. And usually when I take my skewer, I'm going to go lightly through it. I don't want to poke it all the way through because you're going to get pillow paint to come up. Unless that's what you want. Sometimes the contrast, it turns out really cool. But more often than not, I'm usually just moving the paint like that. Now there's already white in there, but it gave it a little bit of interest. Let's see. This area right here is kind of more webbing than cells. I think I might come through and take that and cut through it. And then this here, I think I'm gonna grab, and sometimes I'll take a look at the colors that are around it. Like here is kind of like the gold. I'll try to grab that and bring it through. Sometimes it works, sometimes not so much. But it'll add some interest. Let's see. And I pop bubbles too that may come up because sometimes when you spin them out, they just get bigger and they're harder to get rid of the patches. Sometimes the cells that come up actually look really cool, so keep that in mind too. All right, let's do something over here. I'm gonna take this, there's kind of like a nice grouping of color over here, if you can see, right here. Oops, that didn't go very well, but that's all right. All right. Add a little bit more in there. And if I don't do swirls, sometimes I'll just drag the color through just to give a little different color in that area, just to break it up. And more than likely this area is just going to get tilted off, but just in case some of it is still there, I like to at least pull some color through it. And a lot of this I just like to leave alone because the cells look really cool. I mean, and each blowout is completely different, so but this is kind of what I go through in my mind. If I'm filming, I go through a little quicker because we'll be here for an hour if I'm just contemplating, do I want to do this here? Do I want to do this there? But I actually like, and sometimes like right in here, oops, let me get my little stick so I can show you. Right in here, there's a nice just blend of colors. Can you see that? And so I'll just leave it and see how it spins out. So I think this actually looks really good. And we're gonna go with it. Actually, I'm gonna bring it over to the spinner now and I'll show you. You'll get a better angle of it there. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna put just a little bit more pillow paint before we spin this out. I put more pillow paint. I want to ensure that it goes over the sides well and has the colored paints have something to stick to. All right. Sometimes you'll see me moving it along before I even spin it out. I'm trying to get it as centered as possible and where I think I want something to go off first, or try to save it. It's at least to the best of my ability, because once you spin it, it's fair game. All right, here is the embellished bloom. All right, here we go. Ooh, look at that blue. Wow. Holy cow. I don't want to move it, but I need to get more paint off. And that's funny. Sometimes when I go back and look at my videos and I'm thinking they're probably saying, oh my gosh, stop spinning. And I would love to, but I need to get more paint off. That's why I kind of, you'll see me kind of try to move it along, or I'm trying to save some spaces, either save some spaces that I want to keep on the canvas, or move the paint downwards so it'll knock something off. Kind of like this white here. I'd love to keep this and get rid of this white. And I am really digging this inside here, so we're just gonna do baby spins. I think we're just about there. One more. Yep. That's gonna do it. I don't want to move it anymore, and I like the composition. I like how it's kind of off center a little bit. All right. Make sure it's gone over the edges here, because I did not spin that much. But, and also another way you can tell if you have too much paint on is when you do kind of tilt it and move it around in your spinner. If you see that it moves really easily, you still have a little bit too much paint. It's moving slightly, but I think it's gonna be all right. I just don't want to touch it anymore. Let's see, make sure I've got paint on. I just got this little tiny bit right here that I'm gonna help along. All right. Get a space ready for it. Get this over. This definitely does not look like the little tile I showed you at the beginning. I think I layered the colors differently, but it turned out pretty cool. Wow, look at that. There's that. I'll be right back. I'm gonna bring you over for the flyover. All right, here's the flyover. Look at that sparkle in there. I love this middle section over here. I'm gonna have to write down this color combination and how I mix these paints if I wanna recreate a bigger piece. I think I'm gonna do another piece with this color combo. I just love how the colors mix here. And see, when you're embellishing, I mean, and you get something like that, sometimes you just don't know. As much as you try to picture it in your mind, you just don't know how it's gonna turn out. And when it does turn out, it's just fantastic. I just love these. This is my favorite part right in here. These pink cells over here to the right, and then the contrast of the blue over here, the light blue and the dark blue, the teal, just amazing. That's the piece where it is. So I am going to come back at the end when it's dried and show you that. So I'll be back in a minute. And I'm back to show you the dried results from the piece that I did. So it dried absolutely beautiful. If you remember, I was a bit shocked at the results. I wasn't expecting. Shocked in a good way, but it dried just as you saw it wet. I love the contrast here between here and here. It's kind of like if you split it down the middle, it's two separate paintings put together. And it dried really beautifully. And if you remember, this was my inspiration piece that I was trying to, well, recreate. We know that can't happen, but at least the colors. And so there was a lot more green in this one, and the blue took over. And I almost like this one better. And I think I'll probably do a few more pieces with this color combination now that I see how well it works together, and maybe do a couple more bigger pieces off camera. But there she is. So let me know what you think. If this video was helpful for you, kind of getting into my brain a little bit about what I think about when I'm embellishing on my blooms. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I try to get to every single one of them. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching.